Right, guys and ladies, it's Daniel.
And Chris, and welcome to another side quest right here on QoB. And today we're going to be taking a look at Retro
Sega MegaDrive 2. (16-bit). This is my original from some point in the 90s, and it's only, well, recently, probably within the last year, it's come back out of retirement. So we're using this bad boy again. So this is what we're going to look at.
If you're from the UK, you'll be very familiar with the term Mega Drive. And if you're from the US,
yes, I forgot
it's Genesis.
To you Americans, the Genesis.
Mega Drive sounds better though. Like, it sounds extremely 110% more porny.
So if we take a look at the back of the box, as you can see, here's all the games that aren't included in the box.
Yeah, I hate it when they did stuff like that.
Sega's basically saying this is what you could have.
Yeah, here's what you could have.
The software library.
So software library,
This
sounds very executive.
This is the software library, this is what you could have. But no, what came with this was Mega Games 1 and The Lion King.
Which is detailed in this tacky looking sticker right there.
Yeah, someone in the factory stuck this on after it shipped.
Yeah.
Before it ships. Mega Games 1, in case you're wondering, this compilation, it contains Columns, which is like a match-free game. Super Hang-On, motorbikes, and some football game. Italia 90 or something like that. My least played it for free.
One thing is that I also had a Mega Drive, but I had the Mega Drive 1, which meant that my box is totally different and I had a fat console. There was actually no other difference apart from the size between the Mega Drive 1.
I don't think there was any internal difference.
But this is a much more neat package and it's got red start buttons, whereas mine just had a black start.
But of course, I think the Mega Drive 2 aesthetically looked better.
Well, actually, the Mega Drive 1 had a gold ring around the actual cartridge socket, which made it bling bling.
So if you like gold rings, the Mega Drive 1's for you.
Exactly. Sonic the fucking Hedgehog.
Right, let's have a look.
So,
it open.
So unlike anybody else in
we go.
I actually know, is Dan has got the original box for everything. You've already seen the awesome memory card unboxing that was doing quite recently. But look at the condition of this box. It's absolutely pristine. So considering it's like fucking 25-year-old or something, this is ridiculous.
Take a look at my products.
I see the unboxing experience wasn't quite what it is today.
No, back in these days, the boxes are just all the stuff. It's like there's nothing to it. I mean,
look at all this shit.
It's just the whole stuff in. But yes, what the console itself.
They're really light though, aren't they?
It's very light, but it's not much. It's probably just a circuit board in there, just a single.
Not very much to them. Not like the George Foreman PS3 that I had in the last few years.
Controllers going in. Start, reset.
One thing I really like about the vintage consoles is the controllers. Like, they're absolutely not really ergonomic at all. But
no, they're not.
But
I don't know. Like, I mean,
they're not bad.
For the fact they've got like a D-pad and 3 buttons, that's it in the start.
Yeah, like they're not too bad. But actually, we've played quite a lot of the Mega Drive Classics collection that's on Xbox 360 and PS3. And you play with the proper Xbox controller and stuff. I mean, it actually is nowhere near the experience of when you play with the original sort of controller. No matter how much better in the hand it feels on that other sort of console, you'll always remember playing those classic games when you just got this little sort of D-pad that you're floating around with. Oh no, I pressed A on Streets of Rage and it called the police.
But obviously notable with these old consoles is you get 2 gamepads. Because this was back in the day when you actually saw your friends. Yeah,
they had to come out to your house for multiplayer.
They had to come to your house. You get some pop, some sweets, and have a good time.
Yeah, exactly. In terms of hooking it up to your TV, of course, sadly, the problem is nowadays on modern TVs which have HDMI inputs, we don't really have the inputs for this snazzy RF connector unit.
But you then have to tune into your TV.
Yeah, you have to actually tune it in, if you remember having to do that back in the day.
It was a pain in the arse back in the day, and even bigger pain in the arse now, I would imagine, with modern TVs.
What channel was yours tuned into?
Probably 5.
Mine was tuned into...
Back in the day we had 4 channels.
4 channels.
Then when Channel 5 came out, the inconsiderate people, it's like, oh no.
Had to move to 6.
So oh no, our video players on there has to be on Channel 9 now.
Oh, you have the VHS player
put it on 9.
As well.
I'll put it on 6 because we're going to Channel 6 now. No, look.
I was future-proofing with mine. Mine was on Channel 99.
Smart. That was smart. But at the end of the day, it was a fool because terrestrial TV just goes up to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the UK.
Well, I was thinking, I was thinking of a brighter future than just having Channel 5 and horse porn fucking videos.
To be honest though, what is on TV these days?
Who cares?
Sod all, you may as well not have 5 channels, you may as well not have 1 channel.
Like, the power brick is considerably smaller than the Xbox One, which is
To
good.
be fair, it is powering a much
lighter system.
Yeah, it's not a demanding Neo MegaDrive.
Dan had it correctly labelled as Sega on the bit of masking tape.
My dad probably did that.
just in case you didn't see that it had Sega written on it. But actually, in terms of what was in the box, it was actually.
I guess we get some
pretty
literature. Nobody needs this. Nobody reads it. In China.
Oh my god, the manual. Oh, actually, one thing about my Mega Drive was it never came with a manual because we bought it off like a shady character from my dad's work, and he gave us it without a box. Yeah, it was probably stolen. Of course, one of the things that is absolutely synonymous with these cartridge-based systems is when you click the cartridge in, that sound beautiful.
So that is the Sega MegaDrive. So stick around. And now we have a little look at some of my software library.
Which is what this was all about, of course. It wasn't just about the console. But
we wanted to give you some memories.
Yes.
Like our memories, obviously.
Yeah, like the games that were played back then, seem to evoke really, really strong memories. And they were really difficult games. You never had quick save or or automatic save and stuff. If you died and lost your lives, you started the game again. So, without further ado, what have you got for us in your software library, Dan?
Let's have a look. Streets of Rage, the original.
Streets of Rage. We must have played Streets of Rage hundreds of times. Two-player was the best.
Always 2-player.
Well, I remember back in the day, of course, one of the things that we used to do was that we used to rent games from our local video shop. And this was one of the games that was part of Mega Games 2, I believe. That's when I first played it. And I remember I always, actually out of the 3, I think you had Shinobi, and I think you had Golden Axe as well. But yeah, Streets of Rage is definitely one of my top 2 titles on the Mega Drive. Everyone who's played Streets of Rage, especially on the original Mega Drive, will absolutely and completely and unequivocally understand the pain of accidentally pressing the A button when you didn't need to. So at the cart, because I didn't have the original cart, you see, I only had it on Mega Games.
There's a click.
Oh,
that's the click.
Yeah. It was always a 2-stage motion. It wasn't like straight in, it's in, click.
Yeah.
Every trip.
I've also noticed that Dan is wearing the appropriate attire for this evening.
Of course, Streets of Rage t-shirt on.
Looks cool actually, Dan.
Yes.
I like that.
Look it up on Amazon if you fancy getting one. Moving on. Kid Chameleon. I don't know how familiar you guys might be with this one. It wasn't a tremendously well-known one, but...
No, it wasn't that popular, I don't think. No. But by God, it was one of the best games ever.
It's actually probably one of my top 10, dare I say, top 5 games ever.
If you haven't heard of it before...
you must check it out.
Yeah, you must check it out. It's basically a platformer. You go around and you get helmets which have different special abilities. And actually, everyone who have played Kid Chameleon will absolutely... will always have a really strong preference for one helmet. Mine was Cyclone.
It's well known for being really difficult because...
There's a lot of levels.
There's something like 100 levels. But you can take different paths through the game, so you never...
Which in its time, I think, was
You never play all levels through.
Yeah, you never play all levels. Kid Chameleon, definitely worth a try. What's up next, Dan?
Even more obscure, I doubt many people have heard of this one. Empire of Steel.
I never had it.
Also known as Steel Empire, depending where you live.
So what was it? Was it Steel Empire in America or something?
Yeah, probably America. You know what Americans like. Always changing the names of things. It's like, we don't want that name, we're going to give it our own name. It's a side-scrolling shooter. It's got a steampunk aesthetic. The art style in the game, like I said, is just absolutely just eye candy. And this is something that's really... Like Kid Chameleon, if they did like an HD remake, it would just be... Like making it like the original game for HD, it'd be absolutely badass if we did that. Next we have Desert Strike. Desert Strike.
Desert Strike.
Desert Strike.
It's got nothing to do with like bullets.
Desert Strike. This is Desert Strike. Some of you may know this one.
It's back when Electronic Arts was quite a canny company.
Oh no, yeah, this is back when Electronic Arts were actually not evil, basically. This is when they made good games. And I've just realised this was £10. If you like flying around in the desert in a helicopter, shooting at guys and tanks, this is the game for you.
And finally, I would take the honour to introduce this legendary classic, Sonic 2. By far, I think this was the best Sonic game that there was.
This is why I've chosen this one to highlight.
The levels on Sonic 2 were really memorable.
So was the music.
Oh, the music was really, really quite sort of cool. And I remember the first time I completed this game, and like the joy that I had when I completed this game was absolutely unbelievable when I defeated that massive Dr. Robotnik at the end. And, like the one where you don't have any rings or anything like that.
I've never completed it.
This came, like, did this come with it? The poster?
Yes, it did, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's how, oh, no way! I didn't know that. I'm sure my copy probably did come with this and I just totally ignored it. But you have a cool, if ever slightly overfolded poster of the man himself. That is Sonic the Hedgehog. And one thing, and on the back we also have more of the software library for the Mega Drive.
There's more games you could have.
So, one thing I really enjoyed about Sonic 2 was Chemical Plant.
Yeah.
Like the music on Chemical Plant was so cool.
Even though it was quite difficult when the water started rising.
Yeah.
And you crap yourself.
Like, which looked like dentist mouthwash.
So yeah, that's a little trip on memory lane. Let us know if you enjoyed this video.
And let us know which games you would like to see based on the ones that you've seen so far.
Make sure to look out for our follow-up to this, the PlayStation video.
Yes. The original PlayStation.
The original PlayStation.
Yeah, and that's all we have time for on this one. I have been Chris.
I've been John.
I've been Dan.
Catch you later.
Ciao.
Laters.